just a few moments to consider some very important principles that were really um, encouraging to me this morning. I had a thought as I was driving to our hotel room today, and I had this thought of how when we go to a beautiful city or a different location, we have this perception that everything is so amazing, everything is so wonderful, people are so great until we live in that area. And when we settle in an area, then we realize that people are people, and people will be wicked, people will be nasty, people will be great. The thought that came to my mind is how we have this perception that certain places are amazing, people are great, everything must be like heaven. And then we realize that there are challenges. But then the thought extended to the fact that when we settle, I want you to grab this word now. When we settle in a space and we have this comfy settlement kind of mentality, then there's trouble. I submit to you the fact that when we have a settlement mentality, then we have a comfort zone mentality, then we are not really kingdom compliant. We are self gratifying, or we look for self centeredness. And I'm not saying settlement is wrong, but I draw my conclusion that in the experience with the Tower of Babel in Genesis, God's attention was drawn to them, but he inspected there was an inaccuracy in building, there was an ulterior motive, and the conclusion that I draw is that there was this desire to settle. And when people want to settle, they have a self-centered mentality. So they were building a city, they were building a metropolis or megapolis, and they were building this amazing structure for them to dwell and enjoy. They were one in language, they were one in speech, but then God scattered them. You see, the intention was that God wanted them to be fruitful and increase upon the earth. So if you settle in a space, there's not going to be an increase, there's not going to be fruitful. There will be fruitfulness, but people will start to become, it will become a dense population where we will get on each other's nerve. And that's what I want to get to, is that if we're kingdom oriented and we don't have our hooks in the ground and a settlement mentality, then we have this kingdom mindset that we want to go out and expand, be fruitful and multiply and extend the kingdom of God. We don't have a settlement mentality. I want us to consider that, something that I wrote down in my journal today as I was driving, so that I would explore this teaching in a little bit more extensive way. Let's be kingdom oriented in terms of expansion, fruitfulness, extending the kingdom rather than a settlement people. Because when we settle, we start to get irritable with people. And the focus is not anymore on Matthew 6:33, which is seeking the kingdom of God, but more our self-comforts. And then we start to nitpick and get irritable about people and pet peeves. I trust that this makes sense and this will encourage you. Many blessings to you.